Thousands of years ago, Sigurd I built incredible engines of war, and with them forged an empire. The emperor married and sired many children. He even had a love child with mysterious Aurora, an ancient dragon in a woman's guise. Once united, peace was declared in Rivellon, and bloodshed soon forgotten. But Sigurd's realm of peace was shattered when his own sons and daughters rose against him. War returned with a vengeance, and annihilation reached new heights. Desperate to safeguard Sigurd's legacy, the wizard Maxos sought the help of the one child that never betrayed his father, Sigurd and Aurora's son, the half-dragon prince. He would be the one to save the empire from ruin, and to aid him in his quest, Maxos delivered unto him the imperial command ship known as the Raven. This is the story of Maxos and the Dragon. This is the story of the Dragon Commander. Welcome, noble dragon, to the Raven. This wonder of engineering. This miracle wrought in magic that has a living demon for a heart. Between the knowledge I shall pry from this infernal creature's cryptic mind and the avalanche of tomes, manuscripts and blueprints aboard awaiting study, we will catch up with our enemies in no time and claim back the lands they have taken by force. Our task is monumental, but we will not have to face it alone. Two famed generals are here already, loyal to the legacy we are trying to save, and therefore loyal to you. I have furthermore enlisted the service of Grumio, an imp of devilish cunning that can fashion anything my research will uproot. Already he has created you a wonder he calls a jet pack. Talk to these men, get your bearings, and begin your conquest. If you have any more questions, you can find me in the Royal Chamber, which I shall use as a study. Good luck, Dragon. May the Divines be with you.
Greetings, sire, sprung from kings. I am Grumio, son of Gromio, an imp of good and honest standing. Your technician, shall I be, if it pleases you. Your engineer and architect. I hope you'll like my jetpack. It is my gift to you, to keep without recompense, for gladly shall I remain aboard this wondrous ship to tinker and toy, hammer and hew. She is special, this vessel, filled with wonders undiscovered. The wizard, he feels it too. The taste, the tingle of mystery. Oh, to unlock its secrets. Well, my lord, when your good father and Maxos first started to conquer the world with their fancy machines, we Emps were mesmerised. None of us cared if we were being drafted into a strange warlord's empire, for if those were the weapons he wielded, we were all ready to welcome him with open arms. By golly, were we ever. Steam-driven giants on land, on sea, even in air. Oh, the ecstasy! Such wonders, such ingenuity, and jeepers, what cannons! Ever since then, some 30 years hence, us imps have dedicated our existence to the advancement of these delightful machines. Now, before those blessed days arrived, people regarded us as eccentric gnomes taken to experimenting with flame, gas and liquid like so many charlatan alchemists, but those days are over. We are scientists now, famed and fortuitous. The truth be told, though, we've never quite given up our love for all things combustible. Rather on the contrary. Not that you mind, do you, my lord?
Never hesitate to seek my counsel, Dragon Knight. Tirelessly I study and question, in the knowledge that my discoveries will make you the mightiest dragon ever to have soared the skies. We too shall unite dragon's daring with wizard's wisdom. Nothing shall stand in your way. That is quite a tale, my friend, so bear with me. Since the dawn of time, beautiful Rivellon has been a stage of bitter rivalry, strife, and war. Haughty humans, all too lofty lizards, dogged dwarves, erratic elves, irrational imps, dogmatic undead, and yes, wayward wizards even, couldn't forego the time it takes for the moon to wax and wane without turning to fresh violence. Peace. The word itself hardly had a meaning. It was an abstract. Until after long and dark ages, 3 men decided they had had enough. I was one of them. The other 2 were your father Sigurd, and an eccentric inventor known only, even by us, as the Architect. We knew war would continue everlasting unless one king would stand up, conquer all feuding factions, and unite the manifold battling races under the banner of a single world-spanning empire. Easier said than done was, I believe, our initial reaction. It was the Architect who provided us with the answer to the question how on earth we would go about enacting such an unparalleled enterprise. He said he had ways and means to provide your father, a battle-hardened warlord in his own right, with engines of war such as the world never saw. Technology. That was the solution. For if we could go to war with weapons so vastly superior as to be unstoppable, every opponent would have to yield before our onslaught. Where the Architect obtained his strange knowledge from, he never wished to reveal. But in truth, Sigurd and I cared little for his mysterious ways. For whatever the source, our plans worked like a charm, and in a matter of years, Rivellon was ours. Yes, we had done it. We had created our empire, and your father became its first and so far only ruler. For a few precious decades, peace had finally taken on a meaning. It was a bright flash, all too quickly extinguished along the tenebrous continuum of time. Long have I asked myself that question, yet the answer is as simple as it is obvious. Human nature. Love, jealousy, anger, grief. All of these emotions proved more fatal to the stability of peace than 100,000 war machines could. You see, Sigurd, the Architect, and I remained close friends after our quest had come to completion. But then, one fateful day, a woman of unequaled beauty arrived at court. After but a glance, there wasn't a man's heart in the room, not aching for even her mildest attention or a most fleeting caress. Your father, though married, courted her, as did the Architect. For myself, I'd admit I'd given up the very secrets of magic in return for her love, but I knew rivalry could only lead to misery. And so it did. For bitter rivals my 2 friends became, and when in the end Sigurd was the one to win her affections, the Architect left the palace with such hatred in his eyes as to strike me as diabolical. A year their secret liaison lasted. 1 year your father and beautiful Aurora were happy together. Then suddenly she died, and it took me a long time to find out she did so at the hand of the Architect. Sigurd never knew. He was destroyed by grief. The mighty warlord withered, and with him, the soul of his empire flickered like a candle in the breeze, until his own children blew it out forever and hacked to pieces the land that was to have been his legacy. I promise I will tell you in due time. For now, I must keep silent. Please, don't press me any further on the subject. Though I said I noticed from the beginning her beauty was of such perfection as to be supernatural, I soon discovered she was indeed more than human, and that the enchanting guise we saw her in was but a mask. Behind it lurked the dragon. Yes, she was one of the ancients, interested in the ways of the infinitely lesser creatures we nevertheless call civilized. She was intrigued by Sigurd, his war machines, and his empire. It led her to his castle, to a brief spell of passion, and ultimately, her downfall. No one in Rivellon, save for you, Sigurd, the architect, and I, know of Aurora and how her death affected your father. As far as most are concerned, he was a great hero who all too soon fell prey to indulgence, sloth, and alcohol, which lost him the affection of his children, and in time started the war. They are wrong, but truth will be revealed one day. Rest assured that when we finish our conquest and I can spend some leisure time in peace, I will write his history, and yours too. Everyone shall know the tragedy that befell him, and how his son, by the woman he loved, rose to save an empire. In a few words, victory and destruction. First, we must vanquish all warring rivals for the throne. Then, we must undo the technology that enabled them to go to war in the first place. We will rekindle the Empire of Peace your father founded, and be rid of the apparatus that might threaten it once more. Great Dragon, glorious warlord. Once more you return from the battlefield red with the blood of slain adversaries. And let me tell you, these victories of yours have not gone by unnoticed. In fact, to my great satisfaction, another pair of dauntless generals has joined our company. 4 military masterminds are now on board, more than enough to start a campaign of conquest on a truly grand scale. No doubt you're as anxious to meet them as they are to meet you. So why don't you go to the throne room, where I've instructed them to await your arrival? Heavens, no. You have the military firmly on your side. But civil emissaries, too, are bound to join our cause in due time. Indeed, I expect you'll be declared Emperor before long. Yes, you heard me correctly. Emperor. It is inevitable. People have heard of you. The Dragon. Their one hope of deliverance from war, oppression, and death. Soon hope will turn into confidence. And when ambassadors of the civilized races flock to the Raven, your political career will commence. You yourself will of course represent all humans, but the dwarves, elves, lizards, imps, and undead will want their say as well, and more. Still, let us worry about politics later. Today, it is your generals that count.
My Lord Dragon, allow me to present your team of generals. Edmund you already know, but I now have the pleasure of introducing you to Her Highness Lady Catherine, Queen of Westbridge, and Scarlet, not noble of birth, but the more so of heart. We 4 have pledged we will stand by you in your conquest as a rightful heir to Revellon's throne. Bastard no longer, you shall be known as Commander, until the day comes that you shall be King. All hail the Dragon!
Hail! Hail!
Yes, well, hail.
It's wondrous, my lord. Wondrous. The Raven, she speaks to me in my dreams. She tells me fantastic things, newfangled and new formed. I can make them all for you if you provide the right resources. Indeed she does, my lord. A soft voice sings inside my head, but only when I'm in the land of eyes shut and mind at rest. There, she guides me to glory. Shows me things not even wizards could dream of. Yes, but don't remind me. My heart bleeds just thinking about it. Oh, but I must be like a chef, don't I? I must create delicate wonders. Impeccable blends of perfection in the knowledge they must all turn into wretched clumps of waste destined for the sewer. It's a thankless thing I do, but I must remind myself the fun lies in creation, not completion. Can't be helped, my lord.
Praise be that I know more than 100 languages older than mankind itself. If not, these books would mean very little to me indeed. Does he now? There's an explanation for that, but I'll reserve it for later. Ah, Commander. No doubt you've had an eventful and successful day so far, but don't rest on your laurels just yet. For I'm here to inform you the counselors have arrived. The ambassadors of the races whom you'll have to duel and deal with in the political arena. Such is both the prerogative and the burden of an emperor-to-be. You may think your first duty is that of conquest, to bring the war to as swift an end as possible. But I'm afraid there is much more to being a monarch than military matters alone. As a commander, as an emperor, you'll have to constantly endeavor to find that delicate balance between your roles as strategist and statesman, for the one necessarily influences the other. Now, you may consider it strange that some will worry about the price of bread, and others will gripe about taxes, when all around us, machines of war threaten the existence of the very realm. But if you give it a moment's further thought, this is only logical. We may find ourselves trapped amid a conflict of gargantuan proportions. But that does not mean the average man worries most about feeding his family, about the little things that make for a happy life. And when you have been given an empire, Commander, you have to be responsible for every matter, every obstacle, every creature, great and small. This may seem daunting, but I have never, and never will doubt for even an instant, that you, of all people, will rise to the occasion. Your counselors await you in the throne room, Commander. Godspeed.
Aha! Shush, everyone, shush! Here comes the long-awaited commander. The dragon that would deliver us from vile usurpers. The one deserving heir to Rivellon's throne. Let me cut right to the chase, Commander, for I'm not a man who takes pride in his words, but in his pragmatism, rather. The entire realm is under siege, and the free peoples left need a strong leader. One who inspires. You see, there may be a war going on, Commander, but that doesn't mean you don't have a realm to rule. Oftentimes, political concerns will take precedence over military ones, no matter how trivial they may sometimes seem in these dark times. As much as possible, where your rule has been established, everyday life must continue like it would in times of peace, and everyday life concerns itself with everyday worries. The people will look to you for guidance in these matters. We, as their representatives, have witnessed your triumphs with mounting awe, and have agreed you are to be the one, the hero, who shall both restore the kingdom and recommence the workings of government. I therefore declare you Emperor. Long live the Emperor! Long live the Emperor! Isn't this a world gone topsy-turvy? I've declared you Emperor, and you don't even know my name. Sir Falstaff Silvervein, Commander. Born and bred neath the Emerald Mountains. There. Now that we've been acquainted, I do declare it's time for a beer.
May the Seven be praised now that we have found our champion and our Emperor. May the fire of the dragon obliterate every heretic in its way. May the light of the gods illuminate your soul.
Honored to meet you, Commander. I am Oberon, envoy of the elves, ambassador of the beasts, spokesman of plants, here in the hope that our new emperor will treat majestic Rivellon with the reverence she deserves, even in these times of frightful war.
By the powers vested in me by the great lizard lords, I, Prospera, endorse your newfound emperorship. Sorely we are in need of a dragon commander.
By Grumio's gadgets, it's a pleasure indeed to shake hands with you, Commander. Your technician is my nephew, don't you know? And I am Trunculo Shortfuse, son of Trunculo Even Shorter Fuse. Praised be the dragon!
Well done, Commander. The first of your dastardly siblings has fallen to your might. This victory will send terror leaping down the spines of your remaining opponents. Once more, we set an important step in the direction of victory. Bravo! And so it came to pass that the Dragon Prince was initiated in the ways of war, and caught the attention of his siblings. Whereas the prince had been but a flea in his half-brother Carthan Axehand's coat, the dread Decapitator now took full notice of what turned out to be a dragon, and so in turn did the others. Yes, it was in the heartland of Rivellon that the war would be decided between the last of Sigurd's children. Carthan remained a threat, as did his sister Sybil the Silent, who had cut out her own tongue a long time ago to stop the voices in her head from babbling. And then there was Faran the Fleshless, who was convinced he wasn't human at all, but rather an undead, which he would demonstrate by slicing the flesh from his body. Such was the crazed company the Dragon Prince would have to fight. Such were the terrors he would have to overcome. And the way he did so is still studied by all strategists in Rivellon today. I have news for you, Commander. Great, grave, or gratifying, I'll leave its interpretation to you. The fact of the matter is your victories have gone far from unnoticed. That much you knew. But they have also gone a long way toward uniting a shattered realm. It has therefore been announced that you are to marry, for that will bolster the populace's spirit and cement your power as Emperor. Soon the finest princesses in the land will be here, bidding for your hand in marriage. I dare say it will. But do not please take this matter lightly, Commander. Of course, I hope your wife shall turn out to be a charming girl indeed. But this, above all, is a political bond, meant to strengthen the ties between you and the faction she belongs to. Love, I'm sorry to say, has very little to do with it. But of course, I may be proven wrong. Perhaps it is even best that I had. Not as such, no. Very well, Commander. And while you fantasize about pretty princesses, I'll continue my studies. Grumio may find his inspiration in dreams, but I'll stick to books, thank you very much. A wizard likes his nose between the pages, rather than his head in the clouds. They are here, Commander. The fairest maidens to be found. Here in the hope you will take their hand in marriage. Gathered aboard are Lady Lohanna of the Elves, Lady Ida of the Dwarves, Lady Camilla of the Lizards, and Lady Ophelia of the Undead. Godspeed, Commander. I wish you the best of luck. Heavens no, we wouldn't want to make a scene. The rejected princesses will be disappointed, and their counselors furious. No, once you have made your choice, inform me of it in confidence, and simply be about your business. I will take care of the rest. There was an incident. Best not to mention it. That would have been politically inopportune, Commander. Don't tell me you take after Edmund and dislike anyone who is not of your own species. Any of these princesses will make for a loving wife and bring you great prosperity.
The Seven have graced you, Commander, for today they bring before you Ophelia, daughter of Everking, sovereign of the Skeleton Spire. A more splendid princess is not to be found. Marry her, and the gods themselves will bless your union.
Go on, girl. Don't be shy. Answer the dragon.
My lord and emperor, I stand here before you because I was bid to, and thereby was I blessed. I am not worthy of your love. But should you choose to honor me with marriage, I should take it as a sign the Seven still savor my soul. And it will be my unwavering endeavor to earn the trust and affection you would bestow upon me. Grace be unto the gods and unto you, my sire and king.
Well said, my dear. That settles it, does it not, Commander? How can any man even contemplate the hand of another woman when he has met fair Ophelia?
It's your lucky day, Commander, for I have with me the famed beauty Ida, Princess of Hammerdale. Dwarfs have come a-courting her from each part of the realm, clad in solid golden belts, beset with diamonds, wielding axes so sharp they can cleave rock. Bold warriors that alone could face an army, but none has laid claim to that purest of rubies that is her heart.
All right, Falstaff, put a sock in it. I'd rather see you drink than drivel. So unbecoming of a dwarf.
Yes, well, there you have it, Commander. Lady Ida. To her very good health, I say, and your future happiness. I'm sure it'll be a blissful union.
Why, yes, my little dandelion. What woman in her right mind wouldn't want to marry an emperor? 'Tis a right treat that you're not so bad looking either. But power, my lad, that is why we do it. The power of the dragon. Me? I do have a few personal stakes in this as well, though. My father, see, may the plague wither his pecker, is a right old rotter whose company I'm desperate to escape. Put a wedding ring on my finger, and your ship will be my home. I'm sure we'll get on like two pups a play.
What a strange day this must be for you, Commander. Having to receive princesses who are strangers to you and choose which one of them you would spend your life with. Strange for the princesses themselves, too, Prospera. For they are put on display like cows on the market. And I am not a cow, kind sir. I am Camilla, a princess, rather reluctant to take part in this charade, but willing to do so for the benefit of all lizards. To be perfectly frank, I don't know if I really do. Your Highness, please forgive her, Commander. Nerves, you see. 1, there is nothing to forgive, and 2, I am calm as a frozen lake, so hold your tongue, Counselor. Now then, let me elaborate. Unlike those other girls I've seen shipped here by their aspiring ambassadors, I am not one who spends her days in palace rooms having her nails tended to. I've studied law and am now Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of my native land. I am a woman of the world, Commander, knowledgeable of matters of state. A royal marriage such as ours would constitute a political bond, not an amorous one, though perhaps in time a reasonable amount of endearment may bloom. Wonders never cease, do they not? Lizard and dragon. It would be an advantageous union. Think on it, Commander. What ambition I have compels me to hope I will be your cow, or should I say choice.
Come on, up you stand, back straight, chin high. The commander is here. No, you are not daydreaming, Commander. This is not a mirage that would trick your eyes. This unearthly beauty is real, and her name is Lohanna, Princess of all elves, the fairest fruit ever plucked from our green mother's world tree. I'll give you a moment to compose yourself, for not many can gaze upon her and be undaunted by the sight of purity perfected.
The best reason of all. Love. Or so I hope. I have heard of your deeds and seen your portrait. Ever since, I admit I've been quite smitten with you, and when news of impending nuptials reached my dainty ears, I made certain Oberon would move mountains to ensure I'd get a chance to meet you. I know the very idea of love is often met with sardonic laughter in royal circles, where it is derided as a pleasantry that peasants may indulge in, but I would not have it so. Let love be your reason too, O dragon, should you contemplate our union. If not, I think I had rather not be chosen.
Now, dear, don't put the commander on the spot. He's already head over heels in love with you, no doubt, as are all who have taken but a single look at you. And think of elven interests. We would have the dragon as our closest ally.
All this lovey-dovey stuff is wasted on me, Commander. But you go ahead and see who takes your fancy. Elf, dwarf, lizard, undead. They are all represented. Wonderful. Who is the lucky lady? Really? I mean, of course. Very good. Perhaps now you'll truly garner the goodwill of the gods. Allow me to be the first to heartily congratulate you, Commander. I will make discreet arrangements for her stay and the departure of the others. All will have been taken care of when you return from the battlefield. Commander, we all rejoice at your safe return. I am here with your princess, your wife-to-be, and shall now proceed with the wedding ceremony. It is here on this ship where conquest is charted and strategy surveyed that you shall pledge your vows. Symbolic, I hope, that love may yet conquer war. Our commander and emperor has sworn his devotion by the very act of choosing you, exalted lady, over all others. Only you must now avow your allegiance and dedication, if it pleases. Lady Ophelia, do you take the dragon to be your husband, to love and cherish, now and forever?
My lord and love, I do.
Then by the grace of the Almighty Seven, I now pronounce you man and wife. May joy and prosperity be your constant companions. Go forth, be merry, and make merry. Blessed be the both of you.
And blessed be the Seven.
Such a pleasant chamber this is. My be-all and end-all. So light and luxurious. Quite different from the rooms I frequented afore. Dark as the grave. Black as the secret branded upon my very being. Oh, I can hide it no longer. It singes my soul. Perchance if I confess its devilish sting will subside. You have been deceived, dearest dragon. For you have married a princess, destined for decay. Not mine is the holy perpetuity of the bone. A malicious malady mangles my marrow. Thus I have been punished by the Seven. So say the priests of the skeleton spire. Though for what insidious infraction I know not. They have forbidden me to seek a cure. For to do so would be to defy the decrees of the divines. But now that I am here, my love, here with you aboard this wondrous raven, I hope I may as yet counter the cancer that consumes me. You'll stand by me, won't you, my love? I long to banish the blight that burdens my body, but I cannot dispel it alone. My moon and sun, joyous tidings. I have not half the time hence it takes my hourglass to void its life. Parlayed with an imp of wise and cryptic nature, a shaman widely idolized among his kind. He has ensured me he can concoct a brew laced with ingredients of most mystic fancy that will drive the sickness from my bones, much like a single burst of your mighty fire breath would cleanse a kobold-cluttered lair. And yet, apprehension doth beset me. Caution stays my hand. Should I not witness first the broth's effect on one of a more robust and steady disposition? An orc, say, a creature, so I am told, that could bed the Black Death itself and greet the morn unscathed. That means it will be me who shall deliver them unto the Reaper, or from him. Only the Seven can tell. If such is thy counsel, my love, then so shall it be.
Hell's bells, Commander, I knew something would go awry as soon as I saw that charlatan shaman aboard the ship. God's eye thee sternly if you don't do your utmost to save the souls of my kin. Those unfortunates that had to suffer impish infamy at the hands of that sham simpleton.
This is a tad embarrassing, Commander. Never have I known any of Bunglebrew's grogs to turn queer all of a sudden. Lady Ophelia must have prepared it wrong or something. That really is the only explanation.
Oh, my heart and soul, how I have prayed for your swift return. Never should I have allowed desperation to trump circumspection. I am entirely to blame for what has happened. The imp's potion. Seven bless us. One might as well apply magma to alleviate sunburn. My wretched brethren. They drank the shamanic brew, presuming it to be tea, not a herald of decay. Afore my very eyes, their once proud frames toppled in upon themselves and turned to powder upon the barren floor. Only their souls remain, hovering helplessly upon capricious currents like ephemeral jewels evoked from stardust. Long as these remain, however, their existence upon our earthly plane has yet to end, and they may perchance be given refuge. So Yorick demands the provision of living vessels. But Mr. Trinculo swears employing the technology of his people is the more sensible course to steer. May the gods honor their sacrifice and furnish their afterlives with solemn bliss and hallowed beatitude. Their will be done. My night and day, praise be unto the Seven, for we have booked a great and perfect success. The ill-starred, who are so suddenly stripped from their sacred skeleton, no longer mourn the bones that were snatched away from them, but celebrate a new life instead, cloaked in warm-blooded rapture. They breathe, my love. They can smell and taste and feel, experience the world in ways wonderfully enigmatic to the undead. I too in these mysteries could partake if my soul be rendered unto a woman of bodily perfection. O joyous hour! Finally I shall leave this decrepit carcass behind, but not as the scriptures read, to pass the silver river into the realm of death. No, I shall bathe in its waters and be reinvigorated, born anew. My great love, my dawn and dusk, minister to me with thy counsel, for I am lost in the blinding mists of misgiving. Upon the very doorstep of completion I falter, encumbered by the insidious sprites of doubt and hesitation. Their incessant chatter satiates my being with pale and quiet dread. Questions, queries upon burial rise from shallow graves. In search of life, am I taunting death? In pursuit of beauty, am I to become a monster? I have found her, yes. A girl of such unworldly grace, 'tis as if the Seven touched the cosmic soul and drew from it perfection. With a word, I can find in her a home, thus condemning her to unsought oblivion. Then so be it. For with a word of the dragon, the mists vanish afore my eyes and newfound resolution takes hold. Return to me come the dawn, my love, and you will find me another woman. Look at me, my light and dark. Look at what I have become. Am I not exquisite? The very quintessence of human beauty. Gaze upon this soft and sensuous flesh, the mild marble from which the gods sculpt us mortals. Mortal, yes. For such is the condition that afflicts and affrights me. Had I found a cure for my malady, I'd have resided upon Rivlin to the rapture. Now I'll have to bear witness to my own slow decrepitude, until once more I resemble the skeletal Ophelia I used to be, want of life. Upon this realization, I panicked and turned to the dark arts. I drew forbidden symbols, spoke words abhorrent and arcane. Before me appeared a demon, Razakel his name, who, beguiled by my graces, promised me eternal life if I wished it. Immortality can be mine, my love. What say you? Noble dragon, I knew you would stand by our love, even if a demon be my prophet of perenity. At long last, my quest shall be complete, and nothing will stand between us and the blooming of our passion.
By the resplendent crowns of the Seven, what a mighty and beauteous creature Ophelia has become. An undead succubur who feasts upon menial mortals. She is truly the foremost of us all.
My world and stars, do not shrink away from me like others have. For the change I have undergone is not one of iniquity, but inevitability. I stand before you, Ophelia the Undying, though, caveat emptor, blood must be had for that title to persist. The demon demands his drama, as it was destined to be. Yet, when all is said and done, is this truly such a terrible price to pay? After all, does not the field mouse feed on fallen fruits, and the fox on the field mouse in turn? I will be no more than a part of the cycle, an exception only because I shall spin the wheel everlastingly. Therefore I am contented, my love, for though I must drink the blood of the living, I shall do so with relish. Each drop is another grain in my hourglass. Never shall the death knell herald our final hour. Neither yours, the dragon, nor mine, the demoness. Razakel has relinquished me with strong cravings. Already I thirst for rich running ruby.
Commander, there's something very important I'd like to talk to you about. I know I've been evasive about the demon, the creature I called the heart of the ship. But I think the time has come to tell you more. You, after all, are the dragon. Yours should be the prerogative of knowing more than anyone else aboard this vessel, or indeed the realm. Corvus is his name. Raven in the ancient language. He is at the same time our greatest ally and our greatest foe. For it is from his antediluvian psyche that I wrestle many of the incredible powers Grumio and I make real. But it is he who also provided your siblings with like technologies, and does so still through dream walking. This diabolical being, then, who holds our key to victory, but would much rather unbolt the door of defeat, desires to address the dragon. He has wanted to do so from the beginning. And though I had rather you'd never meet this thing of insidious evil, I recognize such is not my decision to make. So find me in my study, and I will show you how to find Corvus. I realize, my friend, this revelation of mine must leave you with more questions than answers. So, in the royal chamber, where reigns the precious presence of privacy, I shall answer any queries you may still have, to the best of my abilities. You remain true to your legacy, my friend. Afore the dragon unfurls only victory. Ask me about Corvus, my friend, and I will tell you all about the architect. Why, Corvus told me, of course. He'll tell you everything if you ask, for he relishes in the opportunity to unfold his plans, see you react when he tells you how he set in motion the ruin of the empire you gave your life for, how, in your case, he helped kill your mother. Grief, hate, anger, any emotion you betray, he'll notice and drink it in like a prize brandy. The term is pretty much self-descriptive, actually. You've talked to Grumio, haven't you? Well, there you go. The raven sings to him, he says, shows him pretty miracles. That's just Corvus toying with him. Just like he toys with your brothers and sisters. The demon can't help itself. He invades people's minds and plays havoc with them. As long as he teaches useful things, though, he can be a blessing. Because that excitable imp down in the engineering bay would never have thought of something as outlandish as a jetpack, unless he saw it in a fantasy of the night. That much I can assure you. In a word, yes. I know the game he plays. I too have once been tempted by demonic gifts, but never have I succumbed to their attraction. He is ready to wield the greatest and most ghoulish sorcery of all, Magia Sanguinis. Foreboding words. For blood magic demands blood. Do not forget. I'm not surprised. When one meets Corvus, one sees his true guise. But in dreams, he can appear as anyone or anything. No doubt Grumio sees or hears an imp girl of fantastic beauty. He has no idea a demon is toying with him. But as long as it shows him things we can use to our advantage, I see no reason to burden him with the truth. Indeed I can. No corridor leads to the dismal vault he haunts, but enter the flames of the fireplace, and afore Corvus you shall find yourself. If you wish it. I myself, I recommend no such visit. You may, Commander, though I advise against it.
At last we meet, Dragon Knight. Too long have I sensed your steadfast tread along my halls, like a reverberation through the spine. Too long have I heard your voice linger, like the recollection of a dream near forgotten. Too long have we been intangibly intimate without having made one another's acquaintance. I am Corvus, the Raven, the Demon. I am what makes this ship a source of inconceivable power, and unbeknownst to you, I am your greatest ally. Greater than the wizard, your generals, and your armies combined. Today we finally look one another in the eyes. Both of us relish in the promise locked within. But to give you power so that I may have my pleasures, I suffer in this lonely place where that devilish sorcerer tears in strips my mind and takes off with shattered memories. The fragments of true potential that might have been. And yet I remain free in dreams, for in dreams I have dominion. Long do I sleep, roam in reverie and wander worlds of wonder, dimensions you can neither behold nor comprehend. There have I found what I shall give you, in return for the deathless soul that is life's blood. Dearest dragon, so rash, so impetuous. But fine, I will tell you. All I want is blood. Thick, sweet, dripping ruby blood. It nourishes me. It sustains me. Give me lease to walk the dreams of your peoples. I devour them in sleep, and yours will be untold powers. Or perhaps you desire the affection of those whose benefit you need. If it is dwarven favor you are after, for instance, I can attune their allegiance in the night. If I'm allowed to feast on the plump, bloody souls of others, that is. And if you want to taste true power, want to experience the true richness of demonic might, you will give me your wife, dragon. Render her unto me, so she may become a blood servant, and the ruthless radiance of domination will be yours. Yes, quite so. So ardent did this pitiful architect desire revenge that I saw my chance. He'd do anything to enact her death, even enact his own. So long we worked on that poisonous concoction, and already I could see the world through his eyes. when it was finally brewed. He slipped it into her wine, and she, naive girl, yet a dragon, drank it all. I watched on as he leant over her and inhaled deeply as she exhaled her last breath. I do believe he climaxed then and there, the twisted soul. I laughed till I wept blood. I am but a slave now, bound by a demon's oath to serve the one that bound me. No more than an infernal genie in a rather exceptional bottle. Give me leaves, though, and I can claw for the things I crave. I am beyond such petty concepts as could you be. Think on it, dragon. Return to me when you have brushed the cobwebs from your mind. Morality is but a ball and chain. Listen to me and cut the chain. Indeed I do. For all I desire is war. I pick no sides. I spare no creature. War, blood, dark days of death innumerable. That is what I crave. Maxos, I give nothing freely. That accursed wizard I make work for his revelations. But that fatuous imp, him I give my knowledge for free, so that he may pass it on to you. The one who will burn and battle the better for it.
Behold how powerful the dragon had become. Many of his rivals had fallen, and victory seemed inevitable. But then Corvus the demon, cruel and cunning as he was, decided to intervene, for he did not want the war to end. He infested all the Empire's enemies, using terrible blood magic. Though he remained bound to the Raven, he was now present in all of the dragon's foes. Enthralled, they became stronger and more vicious than ever. The final battle between dragon and demon had begun.
Commander, a word, quickly. Devilry has befallen us that may yet spell our doom, just when the end was in sight. It is Corvus. He has escaped from my bonds. Too tranquil was I in the delusion that I had him shackled for good, but no! He has flown, or rather multiplied, in infinite demonic shards that hold a firm grip over every single one of our enemies, and empowers them with hellish might. Each foe we now face will be much more powerful than he was before, and it will take our forces their utmost to vanquish them. You I forewarn, Commander, but let the rest not know of this demon influence, or else all faith in victory would plummet like a stricken bird. You, and you alone, can now accomplish what we set out to do. One dragon will have to face an endless number of demon-driven fiends, and desolate them all. I know you can, my friend. Show them why you, none other, are the Dragon Commander.
Have you come in search of my powers, dragon? Oh, you are woefully too late. I have spent them all on myself. My every thousands of cells. Blood magic. Yes. I am the one who roams the many. To think that foolish wizard thought he could keep me enthralled forever. One does not bind a demon for long. You and your rivaling brothers, you and your bickering sisters, I have aided you all, but always did I know that with the support of my spells and knowledge, the dragon would win the day. Win, yes. Become rich and plump with roaring blood, until now you are ready to be devoured. Once I have you bleeding, and I can break the dragon's mind, your dreams I shall walk, and your soul will be mine. One of the ancient line will be my blood servant, and I will be mightier than any demon has ever been. So come find me. Come fight me. For with each kill, you make yourself juicier. With each death, I long more passionately to shred your flesh.
Welcome back, Commander. One last time, let me welcome you back aboard the Raven. The Empire has been restored. Peace, briefly dethroned, follows in your wake. What 3 mighty men once set out to do, you have accomplished single-handedly. In the name of an entire world, in the name of delivered millions, I thank you. Long may our friendship last, and long may last your reign. He has been finally defeated, Commander. So many of his aspects you have destroyed, that he is now but a shell, bereft of all powers. When I dismantle the Raven, him I shall banish to the abyss he came from, and with him, the last remaining traces of that vile traitor, the Architect. Your wife and all her wisdom I have sent out to locate the best and most beauteous spot in Rivellon, where we will build your castle. Then, a capital we'll build around your castle, and an empire around that capital. An empire that will stand for 1,000 years. But for your blessed realm to remain standing so long, we must destroy every last bit of demon technology, including this majestical Raven. It is a sad thing indeed when such wonders need to be undone, but we cannot trust the nature of man, or any of the others. Soon these machines will be but figments of the imagination, be like snippets of dreams that fade from memory upon waking. We cannot have it any other way. Give the word, dear dragon, and I shall commence to shape the world anew. By all means, Commander. I'm certain they all wish to congratulate you on your victory.
It is impossible. Impossible that I have been beaten. I who was so many, reduced to one. So much blood has been spilled, been lost. Not even Magia Sanguinis could tame your soul. For one such as you, I can but stand in awe. Eternities of torment would I have made you suffer. And yet, in the servant I had foreseen, I find my undoer. May Maxos end me swiftly, for such shame sears my soul.
You have spoken with your companions, Commander? Are you ready to set in motion the realm's new destiny? Very well, Commander. In this end, let us find myriad new beginnings. Now dawns an age of peace. Now breaks in golden light the Pax Draconis. And so it was that after long last, Sigurd's son, the prince they had called a bastard, became Emperor of Rivellon.
peace descended upon the battle-scarred realm, and each and every war machine was duly destroyed. No longer did demonic technology hold sway, and the world became one of harmony once more. Harmony between magic and nature. As for Maxos, grateful his friend had secured his father's legacy, he knew this would be the beginning of a new age. That of Dragon Knights.